It seems like a huge chunk of my viewers are Crash Bandicoot fans, so I try to sprinkle in some Crash Bandicoot here and there. And another one of my fans just posted recently that they wanted to see more top 10s. So I took one and another one and I smashed them together and they had a baby known as my top 10 Crash Bandicoot bosses. Now sit down, relax, and get ready to hop into one sexy list.
Number 10!
Let's go!
So for our first boss, let's talk about a game that not many Crash fans have played. I'm talking about Crash Bash. Nah, you probably thought I meant Titans or Mind Over Mutant, which I haven't played, so don't expect anything from those games on this list. The first boss we will be talking about is Oxide Ride, which is the final boss in Crash Bash. The fight takes place flying through space, kind of like the Cortex fight in Crash 2. You have to follow Oxide through asteroids and dodge his missiles until you finally reach Phase 2 of the fight. Phase 2 of the fight is where things get interesting. It turns into a ballistic minigame where you face off with Oxide. Every time a ball goes through the gate, the player loses a bit of health. So while you're trying to bounce balls into Oxide's gate, you have to stop them from entering yours. But on top of that, Oxide also shoots missiles at you and red balls. And if you touch a single red ball, you instantly die. Yeah, not an easy boss, but definitely a fun one.
Number 9!
Let's go!
Moving on to one of my favorite Crash games, we have a boss from Crash 3. Definitely not my favorite boss from Crash 3, but he's obviously still up there. I'm talking about Dr. N Trophy, the crazy time-traveling maniac that created the Time Twister machine. You first meet him at the start of Crash 3 and he mocks you often throughout the game till you eventually reach him as the third boss. And it's finally your time to get your revenge on him for annoying you through like the whole game. The battle is pretty basic when you first enter the fight. Trophy launches waves at you that hurt you if you touch them, but also summons platforms you can jump across to reach him and attack him. You repeat this 3 times and you win, but the fight isn't the best part, it's just getting revenge on him for being a super jerk that I really love so much.
Number 8!
Let's go!
Ripper-Roo is definitely one of my favorite Crash characters, and it's a bit upsetting he didn't appear in Crash 3 or really any main games after Crash 2. But thankfully his boss fight in Crash 2 was something I highly enjoyed. First off, having Ripper-Roo dressed as a doctor was just hilarious, especially after he gets hurt by the TNT for the first time and you watch him turn insane again. It's the small touches like that I really love. The fight has you dodging Ripper-Roo as he bounces around the map, spawning TNT or nitros where he lands. And once he lands on the last one, it sets it off on an explosive chain, eventually stunning him and allowing you to take a swing at him. Repeating this 3 times will cause the end of Ripper-Roo, until hopefully a new Crash Bandicoot game comes out. Come on guys, we can do it! Hashtag bring back Ripper-Roo!
Number 7!
Let's go!
Another Crash 2 classic we have is Tiny Tiger, and I don't know why, but when I was a kid, Tiny Tiger really stuck with me. I don't know if it was the door with his face on it or his design, but something about him really made me love the character. I'm not super into him anymore, but when I was a kid, man, did I love him. I even had like a little toy of him that I would always play with. The fight is pretty basic, just having you jump around and try to make him jump off the map a few times until you finally defeat him and he falls into the endless void to his death. Again, like I've stated before, I know this boss fight isn't super cool, but it's kind of nostalgic for me and reminds me of playing the game way back when I was a kid.
Number 6!
Let's go!
For those of you who have seen my Twinsanity review, like my original one, you will know I am not a fan of many of the bosses in that game. I think they're all badly designed and not challenging at all except for one special guy. That man is Dino Dial, which is still like the weirdest design in Crash Bandicoot history, but hey, why not? He's Australian and he's pretty cool. The The boss fight can actually be pretty challenging, with him taking 4 hits before going down and using a lot of fire attacks that can be pretty hard to dodge because of how fast he uses them. But with the right timing, you can dodge them, slam the buttons, make it rain, and beat his butt. It would have been nice if all the Twinsanity bosses were this good, but I guess there can only be one Dino Dial.
Number 5.
Let's go.
Next, we have one of the coolest final boss fights in the Crash Bandicoot series, Dr. Neo Cortex. Now, I've always thought the Cortex fight from the first and second games were pretty bad and boring, but the Cortex fight from the third game really fixed everything I found wrong with the others. The fight is first off much more challenging and looks much cooler than the other bosses. Having a crazy laser fight in the middle of your fight with Cortex, and then having to dodge Cortex's moves while dealing with all of that, makes for one crazy fight. It's a super intense fight that really explains why I love Crash 3 so much. I know so many people who like Crash 2 over Crash 3, and I can see why, but this fight and just overall the whole game really makes me love 3 so much more. But back to the fight. You have to fight Cortex in a small enclosed area with a hole in the middle. Hitting him 3 times after dodging crazy attacks causes you to finally beat the game. And if you beat it with all the gems and crystals, you get one of my favorite cutscenes.
Number 4.
Let's go.
Even more Crash 3, and this time it's Coco we get to play as we try to put Engine down. He will quickly fly in and start shooting at you with chain guns and missiles from his giant robot, and you'll have to dodge all of this while trying to shoot the glowy yellow parts on his body. Each time you succeed in blowing up one part of his body, he will lose a piece of his life, and once you get him down to 0 life, you win! Super easy, right? Not. That's right. Now you fly into space and super transform and have to fight Engine now in a giant robot with 7 bars of health. Now he has 4 rocket pods, 2 arms that shoot energy bombs, and a thing that shoots slow moving gem things. Geez, all he needs now is a giant laser that swings across the screen and he would be a smup boss. After repeating the process of shooting glowy yellow things, Engine dies in a giant explosion, and you feel super awesome about blowing up 2 giant mechs. Now if only the Twinsanity boss was like this instead of, like this.
Number 3.
Let's go.
I've mentioned before that I am a huge fan of Polar Push and Crash Bash, and I would play that game type non-stop with my friends. So if there was a boss based solely around Polar Push, you would assume he would be on this list, right? Well, you're super duper right and deserve a cookie, because number 3 is the Bauman Meta. A giant polar bear in a sub with a super creepy smile to add on top of all of that. This boss fight plays just like any Polar Push minigame, meaning you have to push the other enemies off the platform to win. But there's obviously a catch to it since it is a boss battle, and that is that the Bearminator will shoot chunks of the floor out during the fight, and each enemy he shoots at you will also try to shoot you with missiles before you can bounce them off the map. But if you bounce them all off, they will drop a missile you can use to shoot the Bearminator. Jeez. What's with Crash games and missiles? Nah, whatever, just shoot them 3 times and you will be the champ.
Number 2.
Let's go.
Crash Team Racing is probably one of the best kart racing games of its time. Great power-ups, awesome characters, tight controls, cool bosses, perfect tracks, and a story to go along with it all. It's no wonder this game gets all-around praise from just about everyone, and there is one boss from that game that just happened to make my list, and it has to be none other than the final boss, Nitrous Oxide himself. Come on, how could it be anyone else? This man has taunted you through the whole game and threatens to turn all of Earth into a parking lot. Kicking his butt is what you have wanted through the whole game, and well, kicking his butt isn't so easy. When I first tried to beat Oxide as a kid, it didn't take me multiple tries, it took me multiple days of trying to beat this guy. He is not an easy boss at all and really tests all of your driving skills by A, cheating, and B, cheating some more by throwing tons of stuff at you. And, well, I guess he's pretty fast too. On top of that, the track you race him in looks super cool, and part of it takes place in space. And the music that goes along with it is a piece of artwork. This is a boss that till this day I still feel proud that I can say I have defeated. Sadly, I can't say I beat him after getting all the relics, but ain't nobody got time for that. I still have to talk about number 1.
It's me, number 1.
Let's go.
It's been a long and lonely road, and dare I say it, I walked it alone. But we are finally here at number 1, which brings us back to my favorite Crash game, Crash 3. And there really are not many bosses left to choose from for this game, so you may already know my choice, but if not, it's Dino Dial. Again. Yeah, Dino Dial from Crash 3 is my favorite boss. A super simple one and very easy to cheat at, but it's still my favorite. Dino Dial's boss fight in Crash 3 was the very first Crash thing I ever saw or played. Someone I knew happened to be playing at the time and let me play the boss fight, and I was instantly hooked and could not set the controller down. It's what made me love Crash Bandicoot, and it's why Dino Dial is still my favorite boss. But that's not the only reason I love this boss fight. There are plenty of more reasons than just that. The main thing being I love how the fight works. Having him blow through his own barrier to shoot you and then using that to get to him and hit him is just too much fun. I also love the music. The mix of the Crash style with didgeridoos on top of it has always been an interesting combination to me. And I have always loved Dino Dial's voice. Whoever did the voice for him in Crash 3 was spot on, and I love every line he spouts out. And that's everything. 10 bosses from one of my favorite franchises. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and don't forget to like, share, rate, and subscribe. It helps me out way more than you can ever imagine. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, I just have to give a quick shout out to some of my awesome Patreons. Without them, this channel wouldn't exist. So a huge thanks to Rob LaLiberty, Andre Drulard, Harry Martin, Ian Selch, Thomas Bethel, and the YouTubers Possum Gamer, Cray Trey, The Game Plank, and After End Media. And also, don't forget to check out one of my Patreon's awesome videos, and it's a review on Super Meat Boy.